Hi everyone, welcome to another Learn, Grow, Invest meeting. I'm your founder, Jermaine McDonald, and we are very excited to bring you another meeting. So we are an investment community founded on Deuteronomy 8:18, and we love to share our experiences and our expertise with others. So feel free to, subscribe to our channel and check us out on social media as we provide daily investment content on various platforms. So I'm joined by my co-host, Lisa. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. I haven't hosted in a while, so
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a minute. And yeah, so today we're actually starting a brand new series. We're going to be covering. So we talk a lot about stocks and real estate, personal finance, and we actually realize that a large portion of our community are entrepreneurs, are persons who have, aspirations to start their own businesses. So we thought would, add just a different flavor to our meetings by speaking with and, exploring topics related to entrepreneurship, exploring some technology solutions and so on. So this meeting is the first of its type. We're going to be speaking with some of our friends from Ezeepayments. They're going to talk to us about their payment solution. Before we do that, though, I'm going to open with a word of prayer as we normally do. So let us pray. Lord, we thank you so much for this day and everything that it has brought. We thank you for this community. We thank you for its presenters, its guests, this community as a whole. Pray that you will bless this time in Jesus' name.
amen.
All right. So Lisa, it is your show from here.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Learn, Grow, Invest. First and foremost, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, share, because we're trying to get our message out to as many persons as possible. We want everybody to understand. Today is a very exciting episode. We have persons from what I refer to as fintech. Maybe they don't necessarily fall into that category, but it is, because anything that has to do with finance and technology, it's exactly what it is. So without further ado, let me start introducing both of our participants. First off, we have Nardia Ventura. She is the founder and CEO, a serial entrepreneur with an ability to solve small and big problems with client-focused solutions. With close to 2 decades experience in the world of product development, management, market research, and client experience within the financial sector, Narda brings a holistic approach to solution building, not only solving a problem, but ensuring that the solution meets the business operational and profitability needs. The customer experience on service delivery is second to none. Narda also owns and operates the Aquaworks Swim School, now the premier Learn to Swim facility in Jamaica. So if you can't swim, you know who to reach out to. And positioned to be the premier swim school of the Caribbean. She also owns and operates Anonymous Voice Market Insights, a market research company with a reputation of covert mystery shopping, which brings real and uncontestable results of service delivery from service providers. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Narda. You're muted.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you very much for having us.
All right. And of course, without further ado, we also have Kyle Lewis, the co-founder, chief technology officer with over 25 years in the information technology field, including 10 years in enterprise IT management in varying roles. Kyle is an experienced IT professional with a passion for solving business problems. His extensive track record of success speaks to his ability to envision new ways to create business value, along with the ability to go above and beyond to ensure value realization. He is also a serial entrepreneur, and in addition to other endeavors, he owns and manages some of Jamaica's most highly visible websites, including, and drumroll please, JSE Investor, JSEinvestor.com, Auto Ads ja.com and propertyads.ja.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me with a round of applause for Kyle Lewis as well.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you to you both so very, very much for agreeing to do this, for agreeing to show up and giving us a little bit more information about your easy payment platform. So it is that we're happy to have an extensive array of investments information, and this will help, of course, our entrepreneurs, our small businesses, and persons who are just interested in learning about what the future may hold. So, of course, Kyle, you want to take it from here?
All right, sure. Well, Ezeepayments was born out of the need to allow small, micro, and medium entrepreneurs and businesses to be able to accept payments online. We know that has been a problem, a long-standing problem, and now more so than ever due to COVID. And the world is changing. Everybody is shopping on Amazon now. Local entrepreneurs also need to be able to get their
really?
products.
It's not just me?
Yeah, local entrepreneurs need to be able to get their products to local consumers, and the local consumers have come to expect the same standard of the Amazon, of the mail pack, of just buy online and schedule delivery and get delivery at home. So, but the problem is that in order to get set up for e-commerce, it's a tedious process with the banks. It's an expensive process if you want to do the integration yourself with a developer. And so we thought there must be a better way, and hence Ezeepayments.com was born.
Okay, and how long has it been around? How long have you since inception?
Well, we started since we came up with the idea, I think maybe at the end of November last year, and we started. We rolled out to our first set of clients in February this year, February 2020.
So it is already an operational. Sorry. So it's already an operational platform. So if anybody coming to you,
right,
it's already something that's in process, and it won't be. They won't have to worry about being the guinea pigs.
Right. As a matter of fact, so the driving force actually for our product delivery, or product readiness for February, was actually a partner of ours. Well, somebody who has become our partner, who saw our solution, approached us. He said, "We want to get payments done for our clients, and this is can you guys assist?" And we're like, "Yeah, man, sure." So from day one, as soon as we were ready, they had set up clients and they were operational, and it's been seamless, pretty much seamless ever since. We can talk about this later, but we have a SLA to our customers that we'll settle twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and that's what we've been doing like clockwork since day one.
SLA?
Service level agreement.
Okay. Not all of us speak the lingo. Forgive us. Not all of us understand. Okay, well, that's fantastic, and that's very exciting. So your aim is you're gearing this towards small and medium businesses, correct?
And micro.
Okay, so it's micro, small, medium businesses. So you're not going to try and break people's pockets, stress them out, because of course everybody's trying to. We want to be able to do it. We want to be, modern and in the know, but it's difficult with profit margins and so on. So we're aiming it towards the liquor man.
Absolutely.
Right.
So if I can.
Yeah, which is why our solution. You don't even need a website with our solution to be able to collect credit card payments.
You don't need a website, so you don't have. So you can have like an IG page, an Instagram page, and it just sends it over to a WhatsApp store as well.
Yeah, however it is that you want to be the clients.
So it's basically just a link to your platform.
It can be, right.
Okay, so tell me now, what are some of the problems you find with that EasyPay would solve for these micro, small, and medium-sized businesses?
Right. So well, first of all, is the ability, just the ability to collect credit card payments. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I should say I shouldn't leave out debit cards, because once the card is
Or cash
branded,
cards, because cash cards are a big thing now.
right,
Everybody has the Sagicor cash card or the
right,
what's that
prepaid,
company? The ePay card, yeah, the prepaid cards.
right. So, yeah. So once the card has a Mastercard or Visa logo on it,
Mm-hmm.
we can process those payments as well as key card. Obviously
Key
key.
card too, you
Yeah. Well, key card is going
that's
away, but
a
we bank
whole
with.
heap of places.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but some people still have a key card, and
No,
if
I'm
they
just
want to use
surprised
it,
that
we'll
you're able
facilitate
to
it.
collect the key cards because so many places don't accept key cards. So it's very exciting to know that this is somewhere that will accept and not exclude the key card holders.
Right.
Absolutely.
And what we've also found is that it's sometimes difficult for people to even get a card machine. So it's not necessarily just about online payments. What we found is that people sometimes have it difficult to get a card machine to have in on their physical locations. And we'll see later that Easy Payments actually does create a solution for that as well.
Okay, so if it's a situation like it's a physical environment, they can have their phone or their tablets and they can basically just click the link and you can put in your information and do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, that's very exciting. So
Yep.
you kind of competing with the POS machine.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are.
Exactly.
We are.
Exactly.
So even I can use my business as an example. I do have a point of sale machine, but from time to time, that point of sale machine will go down. And on a busy day, you don't want to have a down point of sale machine. But what Easy Payments has been able to do for us is, for example, I have standard payments across my different swim programs. And with a click of a QR code, so scan, click, and pay.
And everybody have a smartphone nowadays, the
Everybody has
5-year-olds,
a
the
smart.
3-year-olds.
I tell
So
you,
so everybody can jump in and do what they need to do.
right. So when we say that this solution is really for the micro to the medium sized businesses, for the mother who is starting their hustle on the side and they want to be able to collect payments for their services or their professional advice, their products, without necessarily having everything that they would need to be able to acquire a point of sale machine or the funds to required to become an e-commerce merchant themselves or to have a fancy website created. This is the solution for them. Whether you already have a website or you don't have one, you're just starting up and you need to be able to collect right away, or you're fully established, we're the right solution.
So what about all right. So give us a definition. Give us your definition of micro, small, and medium-sized businesses. Because I mean, you said something about the mother who wants to start up her hustle on the side. Would she wouldn't necessarily consider herself a small business or even a micro business. To them, they're just, starting them little, they're just doing a little thing. So is it
They
that,
they be considered micro. So if you go through with the official definitions of what small businesses are, I think micro would be 1 to 2 employees. Small would be maybe up to 10 employees. So there are definitions, and of course, there are statistics in terms of not statistics requirements in terms of how much revenue you're pulling in. But the truth is, as soon as you start a business, whether you're a one-man show and many established businesses, because at the end of the day, again, it doesn't really matter how many employees you have. It's really what kind of revenue you're generating. Many one-man businesses turn over some serious money, right? And they need to have a way to collect that. We have a lot of professionals popping up in this millennial generation, very smart individuals who are offering services online, consultations in their field of expertise, and they're asking for the right price for their services. And in an age like today, they don't need to do bank transfers and be hassled with how to reconciling who made which payment and when. They want to be able to manage their payments as they come in, allow their customers the ease of payment so that they get their payments on time. and see their money in their bank account in a reasonable time as well.
So tell me, how do you sign up a new person? Like, I'm a business owner, I have a new customer. Like, I have to go through like a whole create profile process, and because I hate that.
No.
Like you
Okay.
have to. What is their onboarding?
Well, I mean, what we do is we onboard each merchant, but there's no specific customer onboarding per se.
Okay.
So each merchant, we interview each merchant to find out, how long they've been in business, what's the product that they're selling, what do they expect those average order volumes to be, order amounts to be, because we can't allow people to be selling things that are illegal. So we have we have to do some amount of due diligence. You know, the
Really,
the
Kyle?
Yeah.
no, it's the facts because what happens is that NCB has approved us as one of the few what are called payment facilitators, which are people who are allowed to collect money on behalf of other people and remit it to them. So not many
That's
companies
a
are able
big
to.
deal.
It
Right.
is.
It's
Yeah.
a very big deal.
Right. I shouldn't even be talking to you in a t-shirt right now, but
Should have like
but
a branded shirt and thing, and
yeah.
maybe no
But
tie, but like a branded shirt.
right. But yeah, it is a big deal, and we take the responsibility very seriously.
Mhm.
And so we can't jeopardize everybody's business by not screening everybody properly, because when we are able to keep our risk low and our chargebacks low or zero, it works better for everybody. You know.
So what does a small business need? They have to give you them firstborn child, them right knee. Like, what would I, as a business owner, need to do in order to sign up for your platform? Because, I mean, NCB is a heavy, heavy hitter in the industry. So what would I need to do? What would I need to provide in order to be able to accept payment on your platform?
Right. So if you're a business, then we ask you for a copy of your business registration.
Mm-hmm.
And then also if you're not, then we want you to indicate some kind of time frame when you're seeking to get formalized, let us say.
Okay.
Right. It's part of due diligence. But also the fact is that um, we're not paying out money in cash.
Okay.
So by virtue of the fact that we're also transferring to a bank account, the
Mm-hmm.
bank would also have had to have done some due diligence on the person that they're opening the account for as well.
Ah. Person don't have to have a NCB account.
No.
Doesn't have to be an NCB account.
Okay.
You can bank with any bank,
Any Jamaican bank?
any
Correct.
Jamaican bank, correct?
Overseas bank?
Not yet.
Not yet.
A girl can hope.
Soon.
Can hope.
If you
Okay.
bank only with overseas banks, then there are other solutions for you.
Mhm.
Our solution is really geared at persons in Jamaica who want to get their money pretty quickly.
From a local.
Right, yeah. Even if you bank overseas, with those other solutions, you might have to wait a while to move your money from maybe a third party processor to your bank overseas, and then from that bank overseas to Jamaica.
So how does your Ezeepayments compare to other payment solutions in industry right now in on the scene? Because I mean, we're hearing about it's very exciting because now Jamaica is stepping into the 21st century, and we're having people bring in as well as develop these types of things. How do you guys match up?
Very, very, very well. Competition is fantastic. The truth is, when you compare apples to apples, there are really two of us in the space. We don't need to call any names. Two of us in the space right now who are real payment aggregators, facilitators, as Kyle mentioned before. Um, our products are very similar in terms of how the customer sees them. Uh, With us, though, a big differentiator is you do not need to have a website to have our solution, right? With the other, you definitely need to have one. Uh, we're very comparable where rates are concerned. They do not bank with the same bank that we do, but we believe that we have a very, very competitive rate, one that includes GCT, and there are no hidden fees. A merchant who is signing up would probably be asked to make a monthly subscription of a mere 1,500 Jamaican dollars a month. I mean, think
Fifteen
about
hundred
it.
dollar?
Yeah, you blow that on lunch in any day, right?
Not me. No, I cheat. $1,500 enough money though. That is very impressive.
It's very, very affordable because again, remember who our target market is. This is not something that needs to be heavy on the new business. And let's face it, we need small businesses. We need a vibrant economy of small business owners to really push this economy forward, right? The established businesses can do so much and no more, but until there are small businesses and there's a way for us to facilitate these small businesses, one of them is through payments, digital payments, then we're gonna have some pressure on the economy. So back to our competitors. So one of the key things is the settlement. So cash is king. In accounting, they tell you cash is king. So
Boy, not anymore.
cash will always be king, right? So if it is that, well, in terms of, so not physical cash,
Cash
but
flow.
cash flow, right? So in being able to actually see money in your account is still
Okay,
king, right?
fair enough. Yeah,
Having
definitely.
receivables is actually a liability, right? Because you don't know when you're gonna get paid. Now, Kyle mentioned our settlement periods, twice a week, standard. Very disciplined about that. Our merchants can count on that. So any transactions that happen before Tuesday morning, they know that they're getting those funds settled to them on Tuesday. And then on Friday again. That is very, very important to the business person, knowing that they can count on having their cash in hand when they need it. Not everybody can wait 7, 10, 15 days,
14,
right?
30.
And then sometimes
Yeah.
the time frame is very different and it's haphazard. We've heard some complaints. We've had some migrations because of our settlement time frame. Very important to the small business. And then, so Kyle would tell me that that is automatic because it happens like clockwork. And then there's no cost for us to settle to you. The only fee that you pay is a merchant discount fee as a merchant, and money to you. You don't have to pay to get your money to your account.
Wow, that is huge. And let me just first of all, let me just say thank you guys so much, because one of the things that the discussion in the space of investment and especially in the payment industry is that a lot of people, we have international persons that come in and international companies that come in, and I always hear, so why Jamaicans can't do it? Why we're not doing it locally? And here we are doing it locally.
We're doing it
Here we
locally,
are doing it locally, and with impressive amounts of
doing it well.
precision and information and cost effectiveness, because they
Yes.
always say that local things are way more expensive than everybody else's own, and it's not true. We can.
It's not true. So for Kyle and I, remember we are serial entrepreneurs. We have other businesses outside of this. And when we went through the structuring of the product, we decided that listen, this needs to be accessible to as many people as possible. Like you, Lisa Marie, we hear about people saying e-commerce seems like something that is so hard to get done. Yes, if you're going directly to the banks, the application process is daunting. The first time we decided to do this for our initial product, which is Ezeepayments.com, when I got the paperwork, I sent it to Kyle and I said, what does this say? Because it was this thick of information, of technical jargons that I knew nothing about, right?
I'm gonna read all of that.
Right. That alone stops people from taking that step to become e-commerce ready. We've removed that for you because we've done that work for you, right? And then, of course, the cost. As a small business owner myself, I know that that net figure is very important to me. I understand the value of paying for services, and I will pay for the services to get my money to me. But as much as possible, I need to get as much of that money as possible so I can move on and move my business forward.
That's very exciting. Very, very exciting. So, okay, so you had mentioned school fee.
Payments.com.
That was the inception. That's how you guys decided to start this because
Yes, that product actually came out on the eve of COVID. It's a fantastic solution, if I may say so myself. One of a kind in Jamaica, and when we did our research, nothing like it exists in the Caribbean. So, what that product is, if you give me a quick minute, it's a platform and a payment processor for schools. So, basically, it gives schools the ability to identify all the different payments that they will require of their parents during the school year. So, school fee, insurance, chess club, all the extracurricular activities, t-shirts for PE, um, purchase this because we have a class party coming up, road class trip, whatever it is. And
it's
if
a
you're a,
picnic expensive.
oh, Lisa Marie, you have no kids.
I will tell you.
When you have children and they go to prep school, you will start to feel the pain. You will be visiting them very, very often to make payments for the things that pop up, right? Within a term, there are many things. It's today, it's hat
Promise
day,
you. I
and
promise
that
you.
day, and this day. And it's fantastic. It's great for their educational development.
I
But for
promise
the
you, the school would need to give me their bank details and not visiting anybody for
But,
anything.
and that's what they think. But the problem with that is that when you get bank details and you make bank to bank transfers, I'm transferring from my personal account to the school's account, it creates a reconciliation headache for the school. And they cannot identify what payment was made for what child. So the solution has a list. You as a parent know, after the school has identified all the different payments for this batch of kids and that batch of kids, because grade school may be different, lower school may be different from upper school, so they can customize it. When the parent logs on now, they jump into schoolfeepayments.com, they search for their school, identify their child by putting in first and last name and the date of birth, or if the school has an ID, because security is important. And what they will get is a drop down list of all the fees that's applicable to their child.
Wow.
Complete ease. They will now be able to pay by credit card or international debit card. They will have their receipts saved. So no more debating with the office saying, I know I paid that. And the school says, no, you didn't. But I know I did. And everybody's digging up for credit card receipts or bank statements to prove either way.
All right. So
So
maybe I just won't have children.
no, you're gonna love having children. But when COVID hit, schools were not focused on payments. They were really focused on trying to now adapt to online learning. So it was not a good time for school fee payments, but now it is. So when that happened, as serial entrepreneurs, we couldn't sit down on something that we had without trying to pivot it. Hence the
Okay.
birth of easypayments.com.
Okay. So you guys said, like, what if a big company, and I know I'm completely off, but I have so many questions. So what if a big company wants to use you guys? Because I know you said micro, small, and medium. You're going to charge, you say, all right, big company, I'm going to charge you more. You can use our system too, or they'll just onboard them because you're nice.
No, no, absolutely not. This is not Coronation Market where if you look uptown, you're going to get a different price than if you don't. No, so same price, same pricing for
I'm
everybody.
saying tomatoes up by Manor Park is different than downtown. I'm just saying packaging is different. Same tomatoes, but they come in a different package. You get a little styrofoam thingy at the bottom. Okay, so what features should I look out for? What if I'm a user, what features do I look out for on your like roadmap? Because I mean, I'm sure you guys have future plans as well. To you're planning to expand to the Caribbean? Like, what other plans gonna have?
Well, I don't know if you want to let the puss out of the bag. Um, no. Right now, we need to spread our wings a little more here in Jamaica. We really are at the tip of the iceberg. We are amazed when we go on forums like this one and we hear our brand being mentioned, because right now we're operating extremely lean, as in minimal marketing. Um, and purposely done, because at the end of the day we need to make sure that everything works and we're able to maintain those service level agreements, those SLAs that we put out towards our merchant. As we grow, the company will grow as well, so we can meet the need, and then we'll consider going into the Caribbean. If, however, our Caribbean market in particular looks very ripe and ready for us, we're ready to go there and serve their needs.
So how can somebody reach out to you if they have a small business and they're just, even if they're just shopping around for their options, and then how can they reach out to you guys?
Well, our website is there, ezeepayments.com, and there's a contact form that they can fill out. And we again, another SLA, we try to respond within 24 hours.
So no social media?
Yes, at easypayments.com. Sky Blue is on Twitter. So we're on IG at easypayments.com. Gotta be very embarrassed when you go on that page. Not a lot of activity, but again, that's because the work is being done with the merchants one on one. Like Kyle says,
Okay.
when you put in a request, it's not just an automatic response with a merchant application form. Every potential customer is contacted by phone because there needs to be a conversation. The solution it can be positioned in a few different ways depending on your business need. So rather than saying, yeah, you need the button and you need a plugin, we have those conversations, and those take time to make sure that they're getting the right solution that can start working for them right away. So relationship building, that customer experience is very big for us as well.
Fantastic. Okay. All right, because I'm a social media person. I shouldn't admit that, but I mean, Learn, Grow, Invest overall. We're very big with social media. We're on IG, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and it's just we're very much in the social media space.
Yes.
And one of the things that I recognize, whilst the other Caribbean islands are still they're not as advanced as us. Sorry to anybody who is on from other Caribbean islands, but while they're still on Facebook, we are very much on spread across all of the platforms.
Right.
So it's good to know that we can reach out to you on these platforms and other ways as well. But of course, to get the one-on-one service, the personal service is very important as well, because that's a very big deal for a lot of us. Okay, so we have a question from the audience. Is there only a website? Are there any plans for a mobile app?
Yeah, there are plans for a mobile app, but what we've done is that we've made the Ezeepayments website pretty mobile friendly, and yeah, there's one of the things that we're looking for is actually to use a mobile app to kind of increase or improve the security of some of the payment features, but we don't want to limit people to needing to use an app, but an app will come.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I think we've reached the segment where we get very exciting and we get to see a live demo. Am I right? Do we get to see a live demo?
Sure.
All right, drum roll, please.
All right. Well, let me jump into the demo, guys.
It's very exciting. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how you guys expand.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And
So is everyone seeing the screen?
yes.
All right. So initially, when you log in, you get a dashboard that shows, some information about your transaction activity over a period. This is also a test system, so These are some test transactions that took place earlier in the year. You can also look at your transactions. Oops, session was, I'd logged in from before, guys. Apologies. The session timed out. Let me just log back in quickly.
So how user friendly is it?
Well, we're about to see.
No, because I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you. As much as I'm on social media, I'm not tech savvy. And there are people out there who they have businesses and they're extremely busy and they don't really have the time or they don't really, have
Yeah.
the space to sit down and learn a full-blown system. Even if it's in their best interest, your mental exhaustion. So you have to make it as, you know.
All right. So well, let's take a step back then. Just to, because Narda said something earlier and we didn't really get into it. At the moment, we didn't really describe what our product is. And so our product is actually, at least three things right now. Number one, there are payment links and buttons. At the top of this slide, you'll see an example of what a payment button looks like. And you can integrate this payment button into anywhere that you can integrate HTML. You'll see the payment links as part of the demo. But just to point out that we also, right now, we have a WordPress plugin. So this WordPress plugin works with WooCommerce, which is the e-commerce engine for WordPress. And WordPress powers a significant portion of the internet. And then we also provide an API interface for custom integration, which means that if you have any app or website that you need to integrate payments for, which doesn't fit with either of the two solutions that we just described, we give you the power to connect to our payment interface. Let's say what we call programmatically. And your users can have the same seamless checkout experience that they would have from your app or from your custom website, as they would have if they were using either the WordPress or solution or the button or link. So this dashboard and this whole dashboard and interface actually collects all transactions that come through for your account, regardless of what solution it is that you're using. So whether you're using the button, the WordPress plugin, or you're using the API, all your transactions are going to show up in this dashboard. So as I said before, there's this this summary dashboard that you see when you log in initially, and then you can also view your transactions, by date. As I said, these are some old transactions that were in the test system. You can actually view your transactions by date, by just doing a transaction search. Now, for the persons who don't want to use the WordPress plugin or the API, these are guys now who probably just selling via Instagram or WhatsApp or via email, or they just want to send their customer a link to make a payment. This is where what they would do. They would create what we call a button. Every button needs to have a name. So if we name the button, I could just call it Learn Grow button 1, for example. So a button can be created. Yeah. Or if you want to be fancier, I can add the inverse. But so buttons can be created with a 0 value, or you can put a value in there. And this is the most basic way to create a button. Once you create a button, though, you can't change the value, because then it'll basically mess up the recon when you see different payment amounts coming in for a button if you change the value midstream while it has already started collecting payments.
So what if you're right. So let's say you put in the amount of 2,500 and the t-shirt price change.
Right. You create another button.
Create another button.
And you can delete this button?
You can delete that button, correct?
Oh, all right, that works.
Right. So let's say I did that. Let's say I did that $2,000. I was creating that for $2,000. Now what I can show you is how customizable the button is. So if I click more options, I realize that I can actually target this button towards a person or a business. I can actually put in their email address. Should we email them means that when we create this button, we can actually send this entity here of this name and email address an email with the payment link in there that says a payment request is now coming from X person and the payment amount is Y. If there's an order number that, for instance, you may have generated from another system, it can be added here, as well as a description. You could also choose to allow the person to add their phone number on the checkout page. Let's say maybe you need to call the person to get directions for delivery. You can request address details as well, like if you need an address. You could also allow the customer to leave a note. And that's suppose you might say, I'm allergic to cheese or something. I don't know, whatever it is. But you can allow, but you can. These are all options that you can now enable for each button, and that those options now determine how the checkout page itself is created. All right. So if I save this button now, the button has been created, and I have three things here for this button. I get a link that I can share. I get a button that I can now embed into any environment that accepts HTML, like some other websites. In email, I could stick this button in email. But then the exciting thing is that I also have this QR code. Now I mentioned the QR code before in the conversation, and the exciting way that we're seeing people use this QR code. Lisa, if you remember, I told you about merchants who are having difficulty getting a credit card machine. So what those merchants have done is to actually create a blank button and then generate the QR code for it and then laminate that QR code. When the customers visit them and ask if they take card payments, they show the customer the QR code, the laminated QR code, and the customer just scans with their phone right there on spot, makes the payment. The merchant gets the advice that the payment has been made. The customer gets their email receipt, and then the merchant can now hand over the goods to the customer. What this has done is this has created a secure point of sale experience, a secure no-touch point of sale experience. Because in COVID times, you don't necessarily want to be handing your card to a merchant for them to touch it and then give it back to you without sanitizing it. In this instance, you don't have to. There's no exchange of the card. Also, sometimes you go to a merchant and what they'll do is not the merchant themselves, but their unscrupulous agent will swipe your card on a skimmer machine and then tell you, oh, this machine is not working. Let me try another machine. But that time the card information is already gone onto the machine that the swipes it on initially. So this QR code, when created, especially with a blank value, is very powerful, especially for the face-to-face, person-to-person kind of environment. So I can move on to just showing you how the link now works. So what I'm showing you now is mimicking the person having clicked the link that I just copied, wherever it is that you sent it to. And so in this instance, well, as you can see, we're in test mode on our test site. But in this instance, I'm now saying that I'm letting the person input their name, input their email address. The order amount is fixed, and then the person only needs to fill in their card information. Just to give you a little, I can now come and edit this button. For example, this is the button. So I can now come and edit this button. And click into my more options. Let's say, for instance, and I can put, let's say, product. I'm just showing you product one. 1500. And then I can maybe just modify it to include the address details. Say yes. Let me update this button now. And then if I refresh this page now, we can see here that it shows the product one, product two information that I just entered. And it also requests the collection of the address details from the individual. I can just remove this and show you a quick checkout. So if I stick my email address, one of my email addresses here, I'll stick card information. It's going to use a test card. And hit pay now. Transaction is being processed. And right away, I get a on-screen advice that my payment was successful. Gives me a transaction number. And lets me know that my merchant has been advised of the transaction. And then I also do get a receipt for the transaction to highlight everything about the transaction. We also provide a QR code in the receipt that a merchant, we actually developed this in response to our merchants wanting to verify a transaction in a particular flow that they had, and also wanted to do it in a no-touch way. So we provided this QR code in the receipt so that the customer could actually hold up the receipt email and show the merchant, and the merchant could scan the QR code to validate that the payment was successful. So I said Lisa has dropped off. Oh, she's back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't drop off. I was right there with you.
Okay.
That's very, very exciting. That's very, very interesting. Especially for persons who are concerned about being, like, for client wise, you have all of these persons, online stores, WhatsApp stores. Like, how do you know that your payment is secure? So to have knowledge that, okay, there is something that is, but how do we, the customers, feel safe and secure that we can give our payment information to Uno? How we know so somebody not going to hack your system?
Yeah. All right. So let me share a screen again.
Good question.
So NCB, we would have had to have passed. We would have had to have passed, First Atlantic Commerce's requirements in terms of security. We are required to be what's called PCI in terms of payment card industry compliant, which means that we don't store card information which can be used to compromise the card. Ezeepayments, in fact, stores even less card information than what PCI determines is satisfactory. So we want to reduce our risk exposure to as little as possible. In addition, NCB also requires that we complete a thing called control scan, which is an attestation and a scan of the online environment to ensure that it is pretty secure. We actually just completed our compliance scan earlier, and we are also pretty interested in keeping the environment secure. And so here's in fact one of our latest scores from a basic security scan that we did recently.
Okay, so it's not something that somebody can like hack and get your information off your system or anything like that.
No.
Even
Because
if
I
we're
mean,
even if our account is somehow, even if our hosting account or database is somewhat compromised, which is pretty unlikely, but nothing is impossible. There's no information from a credit card perspective that would be useful to anybody who got the database.
oh, that is fantastic. Because I mean, there are, I know there are a couple of incidents that happened and it came in the news, in the newspaper the other day about, people taking advantage of other persons, online store, and you're making this payment and just transfer it to my bank account. So this will eliminate the just transfer to my bank account and providing bank details. You can have somewhere that is safe and secure to make sure that the customer is taken care of and nobody's being defrauded in this online space and everybody's information is being protected. And
Absolutely.
okay, that's good. That's definitely. Okay, so why another question from the audience? Why is there a processing fee for the button transaction?
All right, so very good question. So we actually, when we actually were developing a solution, what we realized is two things. If we're targeting, micro and small, you know, business owners, we need to allow low value transactions.
No what? No
Low
value?
value transactions. So the small merchant who's just starting out, she may be selling lipstick, makeup. One item, can cost $1,000. Let us say we we can't ignore those merchants, so we have to be able to facilitate them. What we have done is that we have actually set our minimum transaction value at $1,000, because below a certain point, what happens is that what we get charged can be as high as 7 and almost 8% depending on the exchange rate, because there's a transaction, a portion of what we're charged per transaction, which is in US.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a rate that we pay to NCB. There's GCT on that rate, and then there's a US dollar transaction fee. So when all those three fees are applied to a $1,000 transaction, for example, the rate that we are charged is closer to 8%. Now what happens is that we have committed to our merchant of 4.25%. What we do with that transaction fee that we charge the card holder, not the merchant, the card holder. What we do with that transaction fee is that we use some of that transaction fee to offset the difference between the rate that NCB charges us and what we commit to give the card holder.
So what if the merchant wants to absorb that fee? Because I mean, some merchants will want to do that.
Right. So we are looking at options for the near future, where we'll allow the merchant to be able to absorb the fee, or we'll remove the fee completely for transactions over a certain value.
Over a certain value.
Right.
So the more money you spend, the less money you spend. Ha! I like it.
Right. So, but those options are coming in the future. So merchants can look out for them. We're also considering another plan where if merchants want to do, let's call it more ad hoc type of payment acceptance, like let's say your business is seasonal. You don't necessarily, if your business is seasonal, you don't necessarily want to pay a monthly subscription fee just to keep your service active. What we'll do then, what we're thinking of doing is to be able to either remove or reduce the subscription fee and then charge a higher transaction rate.
Okay, so that's coming up. It's not something that's already implemented. So if
Right.
I'm a if I'm a I guess not set in stone, and I get in, barrels from foreign, and I just have things that are selling right now. Um, I may in the near future be able to just sell some shoes and one-off type of thing, and just add it on to the price of the item, and then we can move on from there.
Right.
Right.
Okay, sounds fair. Sounds fair. You had mentioned earlier something about US. Can the system be payments be accepted? Let's say I'm in Jamaica, I'm selling stuff online. I have somebody in the United States who want to pay me, but their card is in US. Can we accept money in
Oh
other
yes.
currencies?
Oh yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
So will
So,
it be it would
so
convert it to Jamaican, or I'd have to have like another currency account and
Yes.
right.
Ideally,
So
you should have a US dollar account so you get your currency. That's why you're charging in that currency to get that currency. I know Cal was trying to jump in a while, and what he's going to say to you is because of the cost to transfer US dollars from one bank to another bank, this is the only time that we would say while we're processing through NCB, it would be most affordable for the merchant to have a US dollar account at NCB, just because we want them to be able to get the majority of their money. You don't want to have to pay for the cost of transferring money from one bank account to another, which is expensive. J dollars is not expensive, but US dollars is expensive. You're talking about maybe $15 to $20 out of your profits. But yes, we definitely do process in US dollars, ideally to have a US dollar account.
nice. So, but it's only Jamaican or US. I can't say like a pound or EC or euro, or am I too hopeful? Am I too
No, no,
hopeful?
no, 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 absolutely. So we have the ability to process any currency. Right now we're configured to process J dollars and US dollars because remember how old we are, right? As the
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
market as the market demands it of us, then we will branch out into the other currencies as well.
Okay. But if you already have that account, then you can always just do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
What modifications can be made? So let's say, I want my company logo. Can I make the background pretty? I'm a girl. Can I make it pink? You know what I mean? I mean, can
yeah.
I add my specific touches? I know you gave us information where you can add like a phone number so the person can be called, or they can make their own notes. Or can I make any kind of requests, what I may need as a merchant, um, to the platform, to my particular page, or what the person would see?
Right. So your logo can be added. Your logo is added as part of our setup fee. That's part of what we do to ensure that when your customers come to your checkout page, they feel like this that they're on your checkout page, not just a page that's collecting the card information. And then we're also giving you the ability to add your brand colors to it if you want.
Oh, so I can make it pink.
No, you can. You could if you want. That would be up to you.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
Extremely cool.
That is, yeah, because especially if you have a color scheme for your let's say you have a website, you have your color scheme for your website, and then of course you have the pay now link, and you click on it, and then everything just changes to a whole different color. But if you can keep that
The
color
brand,
scheme,
absolutely.
yeah, it still gives you that branding, which brings me to my next question. Like, how do you manage branding for all of these different clients? Do you just basically ask them for, hey, give me your logo and your color scheme, and we'll throw it up? Or is there anything additional that persons can do? And I'm just asking questions here because it's very exciting to me. I love this. I love it in every form, shape, and way. It's very exciting to see that a local company, local persons are doing this in the space of modernization, which is something we definitely need, especially for micro, small, and medium businesses, because everything is always geared towards larger companies and how they one hand wash the other type of thing, but now we are doing something for the
For
little man
us.
who, yeah, for us to help us. Everybody says they want to start a side hustle and thing and make extra money, but it's so hard to try and get something like this,
Yeah.
and like you
Not
had said
anymore.
earlier, receivables is such an important part of your business process. So branding wise, can I get like a banner? Mr. Kyle, is you are looking at. I know you can't tell, but is you are looking at.
You want where do you want your banner?
Like at the top, like suppose I want, girls in pink, live,
All right.
laugh, love. I
Yeah.
can like get a nice little banner. I
We
mean, I
can
know,
discuss. We can
and
discuss
if
after the session.
if I add some music, it going to be a little bit much, but a
But
little banner.
so at minimum, you're getting your logo, and I mean, super important because imagine you sending, for example, a button or a link for payment through WhatsApp or IG or whatnot. When your customer receives that, they need to know well, it's coming from you, but they need to know for sure that this is not, some unscrupulous website that's about to collect their information. So it will be branded for your company business, so they know that for sure. Yes, it's coming from your contact, but for sure on the payment page is your company brand. So most important, and I'm sure Kat is going to work on that pink banner for you. It will Jermaine like the pink?
No, when I'm talking about my personal business, we're not asking about Learn Grow
No,
Invest.
Jermaine will not like the pink.
Jeremy likes green and white.
No, no. Oh,
Ciao.
okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We have to talk to Renee. Renee likes pink. She's a real person in charge.
Big up, Renee.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Congrats to Jermaine.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
Saw you look
Kyle.
up the post up picture and thing. Big ups.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Narda has no idea what you're talking about.
Happy
But I
landing.
figure
Happy
that's
landing.
very. Oh, okay. There we go. I know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you kind of put me on the spot, Kyle. So I'll explain. So my wife and I became foster parents a week ago.
Awesome.
So we have a 3-month-old with us, and it's been a great experience. So yeah, that's
You're
all
gonna
I'll say
love
for
it.
now. Yeah,
You're gonna need
we've
schoolfeepayments.com.
I was I was actually listening to that. It definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys need to give us an elevator pitch for the solution.
Oh my God.
Yes. Just throw it out there. Throw it out there for
I'll give
everybody
it a shot.
who. All
Yes.
right.
So
Go.
if you are a juggling mommy, you have your side hustle and you're about to convert and you're ready to move into the world of business, or if you're already there and you want to accept payments digitally, you don't want to miss out on any more sales, because fact is you're missing 70% of your sales if you're not collecting digitally right now. Then Easy Payments is a solution for you. Fact.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I'm just here
70%.
I'm just here thinking about when I started my company about 21 years ago, and it would have been so much easier to have this solution because I used to travel all across the country to sell computer parts, and my greatest concern was collecting the payment,
Right.
right? So, and I mean, to the point that I closed that first company, it wasn't easy to get a payment gateway from the bank on your website. Like, it's like you had to give them literally an arm and a leg to get it done. And as far as I know, it's not even that easy now, however many years later, but this is, get started pretty quickly. Anyone that runs their own businesses or side hustle or just need to collect payment for a service can use it.
Yes.
So yeah, great solution.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you,
Yeah,
Lisa
man.
Marie.
In
Well,
fact,
I'm extremely excited. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just gonna to mention the fact that we also got a little bit of publicity during ends because through our partner, um, we were the ones who facilitated the payments for the Mobe jerk chicken vendors.
Great.
So
Why only the mobile jerk chicken vendors? Kingston jerk chicken vendors don't need payment too?
They do.
they do, but there's other problems in terms of delivery that you know we weren't the solution for at the point. So, and then there's also the fact that some of the vendors aren't properly banked. Some of them don't have a smartphone. So there's challenges beyond just a payment solution that jerk chicken vendors would have. But still, it was fun and a good learning experience to be able to participate in that project.
Yeah.
So they have to, a merchant has to have a registered business and they have to be banked. It doesn't matter which bank, but they have to be banked.
They have to be banked. The business doesn't have to be registered right now, but we'd like to know that you have intentions to register your business.
Oh, just like the liquor license in the place, I intend to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about these things, so just scratch that part. Okay, fair enough. So you're saying that those prepaid cards that we were referring to earlier, they can receive payment, but they can't. So you can make payment from that card, but they can't receive payment to that card.
They
They could
can.
receive payments to that card as well.
Oh, see,
I mean,
it's not just necessarily a bank. It's just they have to have.
yeah, those specific prepaid cards can receive payments. So, for instance, if you were a merchant who signed up with a Sagicor or Digicel or whoever for one of those prepaid cards, yeah, you could buy it from another merchant and make a payment, but you could also receive payments if you had signed up with us, and we were to settle payments to you. Then that technically is a way that we could settle a payment.
Brilliant. I need a flyer for you guys. Like, I need a flyer. So everybody that I know, like if I go and buy something online, I'm just going to be like, listen, I'm not going to pay you any money. You need to just sign up with these people and then call me.
Yeah.
And in 24 hours, you can pay it. You
Yeah,
can make your
because
payment.
remember, yeah, the bank has a so you mentioned the fraud that took place recently, or frauds that have been taking place recently, where people advertise products and bank transfer is made, and then person select product disappears and product is nowhere to be seen. At least with a credit card, you have the benefit of making a chargeback.
But now it's a debit card.
Not with a debit card or a bank transfer. So for persons who are spending, you're if you have any doubt about the merchant, you should want to prefer to be able to use a credit card if possible, for a transaction that you are unsure of the legitimacy of it, so to speak.
So this gives persons, a little bit more confidence, and the more you grow, the more you expand, the more known your name becomes. It will at least, have Jamaicans be aware that we don't have to give strangers our money. We can have a source, intermediary source that we can feel confident that is not only, again, it's not only local,
Yeah.
but it's secured and it's backed by financial institutions, and you are registered and all of these wonderful things.
Yeah.
Thank
In
you
other words,
both.
when somebody comes to an Ezeepayment checkout page, they'll know that the merchant has been screened, if not by us, then by one of our partners.
Right.
And they have the benefit of making a chargeback should they have any issues with the transaction.
Oh, so they can make chargebacks through you guys?
Well, we don't encourage chargebacks, but
Nobody does.
But at the end of the day, if you have exhausted all the options, It's not just about us. Using a credit card gives you that ability. So wherever it is that
You
you're
talk about
shopping.
credit card like everybody just have credit card and fling multi
No,
place.
no, I don't know. We know that credit card penetration is a
It's
problem.
not where it should be.
It's not where it should be. But you as a consumer should think about getting a credit card to protect yourself in certain transaction situations.
So if me have a hairdressing salon and I want to know that my clients can, prepay for XYZ, or even while in the place and post the POS is down, they can still just make all of these transactions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Very exciting. Very
very
exciting.
exciting.
Changing the times are changing. The times are changing. Nardo, Kyle, thank you so very, very, very much. It has been an absolute pleasure. I am going to go and start a business so I can just sign up for Easy Payment. That's what I'm going
Amen.
to do. I'm going to start an online business so I can use it because I'm excited. And I think everybody should do the same. Everybody should do the same.
Thank you guys so much for having
all right.
us.
Oh,
Thank you guys so much. It's a great solution. So I'm interested to talk to you guys as well about some other topics. I'll reach out and we'll get that sorted out. We definitely need to look at JSE Investor, Kyle. So yeah, let's talk again soon. All right.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. It was a pleasure, guys.
All
Hope your
right.
audience
Thank you.
enjoyed. Any other questions from the audience?
No, I haven't seen any. If there is, we typically tell persons if you're watching this on a replay and you have questions, just post it in the comments. And if we can't answer, then we'll direct it to you, Kyle and Narda.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All
Awesome.
right. All right, guys. So take care.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye. All right. That was a very, very good session. So Lisa, we have Father's Day coming up, right?
oh yes, you're a daddy. Yeah.
Yes, so I actually wanted to take this opportunity to mention that we have a Father's Day Twitter Spaces that we're gonna host this weekend. So it's 7:30 on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, perfect time to sign up. We're gonna be talking about fathers and finance. So yeah, the role of father in terms of helping set the tone for the family in terms of finances, talk about things like generational wealth, talk about what are some of the lessons we wish that we would have learned from our parents, just that conversation. It's included for moms as well, not just dads, but since it is a Father's Day kind of episode, we're
No,
gonna
I
lead with fathers.
definitely think this is a great session for men.
Yeah.
There are lots of women who rely on the men to make the financial decisions,
Yeah.
and they don't have the appropriate guidance. So
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be a great discussion. We're gonna have David Mullings and Christopherson Nunes to join us, and it should be good.
fantastic.
Yep. All right. So, guys, thank you again for joining us for another week of Learn, Grow, Invest. We are going to have a whole lot of new videos coming out soon, so be sure to turn on post notifications. We are releasing videos, I don't know if you've noticed, almost every other day now. So it's not just the meetings on Thursdays, there are videos coming out almost every other day. So turn on notifications and, don't miss anything. All right. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next video.